Welcome back to another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show with Darren and Rob. I'm your host, Rob. That's my co host, Darren. We've been doing NFL previews all off season, and now we're going to be covering the NFC East right now. So the last thing we have to do is them Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? And before we get started, let's talk about like what we thought of the Cowboys in the off season. But before even that, we got to talk about how the Cowboys season ended. It just ended in the most
Um,
cowboy way possible.
um,
What's your thoughts on how the season ended last year for the Dallas Cowboys?
Going into that game, I knew they were going to lose it. San Francisco is a better team. Let's be honest. Dallas had some pieces last year that came out of nowhere. Obviously Micah Parsons, showed out, and Diggs as well in the back half showed up. But yeah, they just they just don't look. That was embarrassing. That was they should have gave the ball to the ref and then blocked it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was going to happen to a team, I'm not surprised it happened to them.
The thing about that is, I expected Dallas to lose that game because I just thought the 49ers were just a better team overall.
Yep.
But to lose like that is absolutely unacceptable. I don't know of any other word I can say besides that. Um, and the fact that it was Dak Prescott's fault, kind of breaks my heart because I cut no homo. I kind of fell for Dak Prescott as a quarterback this year because of uh, the Hard Knocks they did last year. I thought he was
Yeah.
amazing on Hard Knocks. I was like, damn, it's so hard not to like this dude. He talk about coming back for an injury and still playing as well as he did. Just the grit and the grind, the no shit talk. When I'm working mindset. It's just hard not to like that guy. And the one thing I don't do, especially in recent years, is I don't like rooting against black quarterbacks, and I just like to see black quarterbacks succeed. So I hope the best for Dak Prescott. I hope he's able to play to the best of his ability. It just sucks that it had to be him that fucked that game up.
I mean, he was putting his team in a position to come back in that game, but I didn't. I didn't really think it would. Obviously, people didn't think it would end that way, but at the same time, I just didn't. I just didn't see it happening. Them pulling that game out, so I wasn't too surprised when that did happen. Um, yeah. Ultimately, they're the Cowboys, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Off season wise, though, I think the biggest surprise for me wasn't that they got rid of Amari Cooper. It was the fact that they got rid of Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson. I think Cedric Wilson was debatably their best receiver last year from the consistency standpoint and what you could get from him. He was just showing up and showing out, and at random weeks, just showing up, getting the ball, touchdowns. He was doing his thing, and that was because Gallup was hurt from part of the season. Hope he gets better because he got hurt the last game as well. Um, and CD Lamb, I think he either missed time or just wasn't there all the time. So I think the combination of losing Amari with Cedric Wilson is the biggest blow. I think Cedric Wilson was really nice for this offense.
How do you feel about the Cowboys draft?
Um, Looked like they had a lot of picks to be honest with you.
They had a lot
Uh,
of fifth rounders.
a lot of fifth rounders, got you. I, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. They definitely need to rebuild their offensive line going forward. So I'm happy that they at least got two picks there. One from Tulsa, one from North Dakota, one in the first, one in the fifth. I'm happy with that. I don't know. I'm not. It seems like a lot of pieces for their defense. Some pieces offensively. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Ultimately, they do need to rebuild their offensive line, and I expect them to be picking two offensive linemen in each draft going forward until it's the same caliber of what it was in the mid 2016, 2017, whenever Dak's first year was, something like that.
Okay. I really like their draft. I feel like they are filling out holes that they have on their team. With their fifth round picks, I feel like they're trying to give some depth to that defense because that defense was really good last year, but they're just trying to add some depth to it. Add a bunch of players that they can possibly build up and work on and work with to try to get them to that caliber. In case they start losing pieces, they have homegrown pieces that they're able to replace them with. So I think
Yeah,
it's good depth that they added to their team. Really good depth.
I
And one
agree.
more thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said I agree.
One more thing before we get into uh, their depth chart. The Cowboys were named the most valuable team in the NFL. Uh, do you know what the number was without looking at it?
Um, Something in the billions, right?
Obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was. I forgot, like 400 bill, something. It was something stupid.
What? What'd you say?
Something stupid.
You say 400?
Yeah, it was something stupid. I don't know.
Nah, Darren. It's like 7.64. How
Well,
much do you think
completely
an
off.
NFL team is worth?
Not 400 bill, I guess. Maybe
Damn.
that's how much uh, Jerry's made since owning the team.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah,
But
but
yes, they're the most valuable it just says team, but I'm assuming NFL team.
I think
Uh
team in general.
well, the only team that would be able to compete with them would be the Los Angeles Lakers or the Yankees. Those markets will help them a lot in that procedure. Uh but and also, man, you also got to think if anybody actually wanted to try to buy those teams, they would have to overpay to get them. So
Most definitely.
they're just in that mindset. You when you see the Dallas Cowboys star, you know who it is. It's one of the most recognizable logos in general.
Yeah, that's star.
All right, now let's go ahead and move on to their depth chart. Let's talk about quarterbacks first. What do you expect from Dak Prescott going into this year?
He has to elevate this team ultimately. Uh, and that's a big task for him without Amari Cooper because we haven't seen it with him without Amari Cooper really be great. So I'm excited to see what he can do with the with this new regime. I would say I think Michael Gallup is one of the, honestly debatably the best receiver on this team when healthy. I think he could do some special things. I think CeeDee Lamb is just now showing like starting to show what he can do. Um, it's a lot on him. Like I said, Dak has to elevate this team because they're not the same running team that they used to be. They switched 2 years ago, I believe. I think it was 2 years ago at this time to being a more pass heavy team, and that's honestly the reason why Dak got paid. If you ask me, that's a big reason why Dak got paid because he showed that he can do some things with the passing offense. But I think to go far, they really need to develop their run and figure out what it is. I don't think it's Zeke because Zeke don't have that breakaway speed. It doesn't look like anymore. I think Tony Pollard is the guy. But yeah, to answer your question, Dak has to elevate the team.
I think there's a lot of pressure on Dak this year, but I expect Dak to be able to live up to that pressure. Um, just because I like the way he looked last year. I think he should be able to elevate this team, make everybody around him better. From a basketball standpoint. Uh, I think this is a really solid receiving core. They're saying Michael Gallup is hurt this year, so he's probably going to miss. But he should be back by week 1. But that Jalen Tolbert, we definitely got to see how he looks in this offense. But my thing is, they got James Washington. from Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure he left in free agency. He's actually a really good receiver. He just the thing about him is he just needs to take that next step to be like I'm a starter wherever I go. He's a big receiver. He's a solid route runner, and he can run catch the ball deep. So I think it'll be a solid aspect to add to this team, especially if he gets a decent amount of playing time.
Yeah,
Definitely a good rotation receiver to have.
I definitely think that. I think if anybody is there to replace Cedric Wilson, it will be James Washington.
And if he can make a
Um,
big step up, he can definitely be a starter on this football team.
big facts, big facts. Dalton Schultz had a really good season as well last year. I think he can be great at tight end as well. So just wanted to shout that out.
So let's go ahead and take a look at this defense. How do you feel about this defense going into this year?
Um, I feel kind of the same way I felt last year. Uh, Not great. Their depth, well, not necessarily. Last year they had a little bit more depth on their. I think it was the defensive ends, and like their outsides. But yeah, I like it. It's definitely a good defense. Not the best defense in their division, but definitely probably talent like name. They have they're up there, right? Uh, you got Micah, D Law, Dante Fowler. I think will actually have a pretty good season with this team. I don't know if he's a Gregory. Oh, I'm just Randy Gregory. I just messed up that whole word. That's his whole name. But anyway, yeah, I think they have the names. Malik Hooker, Diggs, Kirsch. I think they have the names, but we got to see that all come together. Of course, just with the new pieces.
I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Anthony Brown this year. He was getting targeted a lot. I feel like he was getting picked on because people really didn't want to throw to Trayvon Diggs because Trayvon Diggs was playing super aggressive and jumping a whole bunch of routes last year. So I think there's going to be a lot of more pressure on Anthony Brown. Hopefully he knows that, and if he can be better than he was last year, because he wasn't bad, he was just getting picked on a lot. That this defense can be the next level, and they should be
He
able to
was
get out the first round.
Brown was definitely bad in that Thanksgiving game. He got like three pass interference that like really won the Raiders the game. That helped win the Raiders game.
All right, all right. Let's go ahead. You got anything to say about the depth chart before we move on?
Nope. Just want to see it all come together defensively, offensively. It's on deck.
All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at their schedule for this upcoming year.
Also, side
That's
note,
go ahead.
do you think their head coach is in the hot seat?
I forget his name, but it was the Packers' old coach, right?
Mike McCarthy.
How long has he been there?
This is second, third year. One of those two. Second year. I'm gonna say second year.
Okay. Wait, so last year was his first year? I think this is
I
his third
won.
year. I
Nah.
feel like he's been there a while.
How long has nah? Because the Packers head coach is going into what, his fourth year.
Yeah, this is his third year.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the third year he's going into.
So saying that, it depends. It really depends. If if they win like 5 or 6 games, yes, you could definitely move on. But if they make the playoffs again, I'm not necessarily sure that it puts him in the hot seat. If it gets him fired this year, but it definitely puts him in the hot seat for next year.
Man, if Sean Payton is out there, I'm in the hot seat. If it's me, if
If you
Sean
think
Payton
you
is
can
just
get an
out there,
upgrade, like a significant upgrade, definitely. But I
Sean
don't think
Payton's
that
up there.
unless that he has a horrible season, I don't think you should be ready to move on from him.
Sean
Because if
Payton's
you
up
look at
there.
his first two seasons with Dallas, where's it at? He had his first year they didn't play well. They were 6-10, and
Because Dak
last
got
year they
hurt.
made the playoffs. So like as long as it's not significant decrease, they should be able to make the playoffs this year, and they're definitely competing for that division title. So if they're able to
Yep.
do those two things, I don't think you fire him.
All right.
All right, so it looks like they start off the year again against Tampa Bay because I'm pretty sure they played them week one last year. Am I correct?
Yep.
So yeah, the NFL is just out here trying to make a shit ton of money. Who you got week one?
Um, I'm gonna say Tampa Bay pulls this one out again.
I'm going to agree with you. I like Tampa Bay in this game. I think it should be a really fun game like it was last year, though. Week two versus Cincinnati.
Uh, I'll buy into Cincinnati hype at this moment. Right now, I'll buy into it. Yeah, Cincinnati wins this game.
I'll give it to Cincinnati. I'll have Cincinnati win as well. And at this point, Cowboys fans are freaking out, and I don't know. Stephen A. Smith's probably dancing on his desk on first take. Week three at the New York Giants, Monday night.
They will beat the New York Giants and go 1-2 at this point.
I agree. They should be able to beat them. Week four at versus Washington.
Uh, Very tough game for me to choose, but I'm going to go ahead and go. Man, this is a tough one. Who you going with?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Why?
I don't believe in Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz, this is like one of those games Carson Wentz throws two or three picks that loses them the game.
I'm still going to go to Commanders in this one. We're going to go 1-3 at this point. I just have a tough time believing in that offensive line of the Dallas compared to this defensive line. And Chase Young is probably going to be back at this.
Week five at Los Angeles Rams.
They'll lose to the Rams, definitely.
I agree. I think so as well. Week six at Philly.
Um, they will lose to Philly.
I agree. I think they lose to Philly. Week seven versus Detroit.
They're going to beat Detroit, but okay. Okay now.
I actually think they handily beat Detroit. I don't like Jared Goff in this game. I feel like he's on show off his noodle arm and probably throw picks.
Disrespectful.
Uh, week eight versus Chicago.
They'll beat Chicago as well.
I agree. Then they have a week nine bye, and they have to go to Lambeau to face Green Bay.
They will lose to Green Bay.
I agree. Then they have week 11 at Minnesota.
And that will be a very good game, but I believe in Kirk Cousins over that situation. So I believe Minnesota.
I disagree. I think Minnesota still has a good game offensively, but the Cowboys pull it out. I have Cowboys winning that game. Week 12 versus the Giants.
Defense playing better. I'll just go with the fact that I believe in Dak. They'll beat the Giants.
I agree. Week 13 versus the Colts.
That's gonna be a good game, really good game on night. Sunday night. Man, I am having a tough time picking this one. Who you got?
I have the Cowboys winning. I don't like Matt Ryan in this game.
And just because of that, I'm gonna take the Colts.
Week 14 versus Houston.
They'll beat Houston.
I agree. The Battle of Texas. Week 15 at Jacksonville.
They will be, but this was not an easy game for them.
I think they beat Jacksonville pretty handily. Um,
Nope. Doug Peterson knows his team. He knows the
I think they
Cowboys.
still handle. They're still a very young football team, and I don't like that offense yet. Um, maybe if Travis Etienne is turns into Alvin Kamara 2.0, maybe they have a chance. But I don't like this. I don't like that football team right now. They still have a lot of rebuilding to do.
All right now.
Week 16 versus Philly.
Um, I'm gonna change my pick, but yeah, they'll get the win here.
I agree. Week 17 at Tennessee.
They're gonna lose to Tennessee.
I agree. And the end the season off at Washington.
They're gonna lose to them. I'm trying to give them a win right there too. They're gonna lose to them.
I think they pull that game out.
I got them with
Barely make
7
the
wins.
playoffs.
I was about to say I got them with 7 wins.
It's going to be
And
tough,
that
but I think I have them around like 7 or 8 runs or something like that too.
you got them, I think, with 2 more wins than me, 2 or 3. But yeah, that's tough. That's tough. That is tough.
I think they barely make the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if it's another first round exit.
They should make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to make it. I think Dak will regress because no Amari Cooper, and he'll have to figure out who that other guy is for his team unless they start Tony Pollard over Zeke. And I don't think they're just not going to be the best team in their division. The should be.
Around week 4 or 5, I wouldn't. I think their offense will be way more dynamic and way more nuanced if they start Tony Pollard over Zeke.
I agree. What they're
Um,
paying Zeke. Trade him.
I don't think you'll be able to trade him. They gave him like all that fucking money. Nobody's gonna want
Exactly.
that contract.
Swap with somebody else who got a running back who they're paying and has a disagreement with them, like Cincinnati.
Joe Mixon.
Yeah, send a pick too.
Why would you? Why
Obviously,
would Cincinnati want Zeke?
he's back in Ohio. Maybe you get a high pick for him because you got to pay him. There you go.
So you want Zeke and a high pick to get rid of the contract because of the contract?
Isn't that what you want? It's not like Zeke is producing over Joe Mixon
Yeah, that's why. Why would you trade Joe Mixon?
because he has beef with the head coach.
No. They said they fixed that shit
Oh,
allegedly.
they fixed it.
Yeah,
Is re no.
we'll see.
Yep.
Um,
We will see.
you got anything else to wrap up on before we wrap up the Cowboys?
Well, I'm
Anything
not a
else to
big
say?
fan of the Cowboys. I'm not a big fan of what Jerry Jones does with his team, but I love what he does for the NFL.
Definitely. He definitely has way too much power. This nigga should not be the GM. I don't know, but saying that all, Jerry Jones is out here living the dream. What NFL fan doesn't want to be the GM of their football team? So, he's just
Right.
out there living the dream.
Right. The only person right now is the Ndamukong Suh from us. That's it.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Before we
Philly is
go,
winning the division.
yeah, I agree. I think Philly's winning the division as well. Um, Thank you guys for watching another episode of the From Half Court Sports Talk Show. Make sure you like and subscribe down below. Let us know in the comment section what you think the Cowboys are going to do. Oh, and one last thing before we leave. Fuck the Cowboys. Y'all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time for the next division we cover. Peace out.
Peace out. Like, comment, subscribe.